Hello there, it's MechLord, and today I am going to talk about rush duels. So, why am I making a rush duels video? There's a couple of reasons. First of which is, in the midst of this very floodgates heavy speed format, and if you're like me, someone who decided to devote themselves to a deck that heavily loses against both Ophion and Winder, I think that, you know, it might be a good idea to cool off, play a little bit of a, not necessarily a lesser format, but a format with less stakes, just a more fun, less difficult format to pilot, a format in which the timer is not going to be my enemy. Second reason is I found out that Dinosaurs was actually a good deck in Rush Duels. I know, right? Last time I made a video on Rush Duels, it was on Dinosaurs using a deck that I had found on Dueling Spera, and since then it turned out that the 7th of Dawn scale works really well with Mega Zowler very specifically, and also with some of the other cards that you can play in a dinosaur shell. This skill basically gives a bunch of attack to a normal monster that you summoned, and works if you have a bunch of monsters that have like a high defense as well. So look, Mega Zowler, it can grow to 2400 attack, and has 2000 defense, which also means that it works pretty well with Shield and Sword. Same with Super King Rex and Flame Cerberus. Flame Cerberus being our second 7 of Dawn targets. Just a pretty decent deck overall. I think in his latest Rush Duel tier list video, Tomato Souls put this deck in tier 2 from a tournament point of view. It's a pretty decent deck that can also get you some very easy ladder wins. And the third reason I just mentioned is I want to give a shout out to Tomato Souls, very specifically Tomato Souls, I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. He has been producing some of the best Rush Duel content on YouTube consistently, and I just if you're interested in Rush Duels at all, I really think you ought to check his channel and watch his videos. He also talks about Rush Duels in the grander context of the OCG, future things that could come to Rush Duel in Duel Links and in the real game. It's a really good YouTube channel. You'll sell some very entertaining live streams, and go give him a look and subscribe over there, please. Anyway, back to the deck. This is a list that I got from, I think Sora was the one that topped a tournament with this list, playing 2 Super King Rexes and 2 multi-strike Dragon Dragias. The one thing that I changed is I replaced the Ghost Cyclones, which is this card that I always draw at the worst possible moments, with Armor Crush, which does have an heftier cost, but I think is more flexible for me specifically. But there's also a version that doesn't play multi-strike Dragon Dragias floating around. I think this one was innovated by Pro Monarchist. I'm gonna put it on the screen over there, and you can see it's only playing like 3 Super King Rexes. I don't even think it runs 3 Mega Zowlers, I think it only runs 2. And Flame Cerberus is like the main beater of the deck, but it's essentially the same. Pretty accessible list. You do need a couple of cards from the bundles, but it's like, oh, the other card to obtain, you know. We're playing Archfiend Soldier, which is also a scale target. Shield and Sword, which, as mentioned previously, is really good. You can even afford to play Sword and Shield in this deck if you want to. I might put it back in the deck. I think the deck is kind of tight as is, but I might consider it, you know? Buffered Slime is the newest card added to the game through a bundle. I wasn't convinced this was good at first, but it turns out not dying is super helpful. And you know, Widespread Ruin is of course the best card in the game and has been for a very long time now. So this is the deck. It's just big dino beatdown. And you can say that a lot of Rush Duel decks are just beatdown decks, but this one, I think it's pretty funny, if only because it works so well with Shield and Sword and Sword and Shield. And this alone makes me want to play it. And of course we're playing the Talismanic Seal Array in order to beat over stuff that actually has defense points. So anyway, I'm just gonna show you a couple games now. You can see some Rush gameplay, and I hope you like it. So this first duel, I forgot what it was against. I have no idea what they were on. I completely forgot. That's kind of a shame. I'm going first. I drew the Slime and the Yamacrush. I'm just gonna get to set 3 and pass here, which pretty decent. I managed to MC out my entire hand. They're gonna summon the Crawling Torso. The Zombie Engine is not too bad. Oh, it's an Ancient Forces. They were on Ancient Forces. I remember now. A deck that got nerfed shortly after the KCC that directly followed the one it was released in, and then got unnerfed. So this is pretty much back to full power Ancient Forces. Fortunately for me, I drew Dragias, and Dragias does a great job at clearing out stuff. I could have tribute summoned the Megazala to tribute the Dragias over to empty my hand a little bit further and set up a potential Super King Rex, but I decided not to. Because Dragias is cool enough as is. I'm just gonna clear their board here, completely fine. They're gonna tribute to the Dune my Dragias, which is the same. And then they showed me that they basically have nothing in hand. Unfortunately for them, I have double Armor Crush. So I'm just gonna pop one. It is the Widespread Ruin. Pop the second is the Talismanic Accelerate. Thanks to the Pakuchu, I'm going to get back the Gazelle, which I'm then going to be able to summon. The Pakuchu is going to be tribute fodder for Megazala and Megazala, dude. The whole reason I wanted to make this video is because Megazala is just such a cool, iconic, first generation Duel Monsters era card, right? It was a card that showed up in the Rex Raptor versus Joey Wheeler duel, you know? And it's always been garbage in the TCG. It's always been completely poo-poo. But in Rush Duels, it's a good card. I really enjoy that. Anyway, they're down to 500 life points, which, yeah, is pretty good. I still have the Buffet Slam Widespread Ruin, so I'm still in a good spot here. Still in a really good spot. They're going to be able to use the Phoenix Dragon to retrieve the Burning Blaze Dragon. And then get the Sex and the Dragorite, which they're going to tribute for Ancient Arise Dragon. And then the Burning Blaze Dragon is also going to be on the field here. And Ancient Forces is going to buff it to 2000 attack. And then the Ancient Arise Dragon is going to be able to shuffle these two back. Pop the Gazelle. He can't pop the Megazala because of its fat 2000 defense stats. Because it's a only pop monster with 1500 defense or less. But that's 2000. They're going to have to attack. I'm just going to Widespread Ruin because I don't want to deal with that later. Take 1000 here. It's completely fine because I draw the absolute nuts. Not really the greatest hand of all time. I drew Double Gazelle and I drew Silver Wolf, and the Silver Wolf alone like clears, you know, like just this is enough to clear their board. But then I can also summon the Super King Rex, bring back Megazala, and have lethal with Megazala, which is very important to me. What a cool game. The second game is going to be against, I think this one is Psychics? If I'm not mistaken, I think this person is on Psychics. I'm not too sure though. So that's you know, not the greatest thing you want to see in your opener hand, but Dragias is still a good card, so you still play it. Yeah, this is definitely the Psychics player. They're just gonna summon Prima Gitana turn 1, which I don't think is the move. I think it works better if you play more defensively. You know, I'm just gonna watch the animation because of why not. Anyway, it's Prima Gitana on the field with a set and pass. And at this point, I'm like, what if this is Widespread? Do I really want to play super hard into Widespread Ruin and potentially lose the game because of that? And the answer is yes, so I'm going to do it anyway. Mill a Super King Rex, not too happy about that, only F2 in the deck. Another attack directly, that's big damage that I dealt to them. So, it's kind of cool. They're going to get the Roman pick here in order to retrieve the Prima Gitana. And made a couple of cards, including Call of the Earthbound, which is a very cool... Yeah, Call of the Earthbound. I misread this as Call to the Earthbound. Anyway, they're going to bring back the Prima Gitana here. They're going to Psychic Divergence to put this on top of my deck. They're going to activate Climax finally to... bunch of stuff is happening. They are going down to 1100 life points. They decided not to activate the Prima Gitana effect. Which could have potentially killed them next turn. So that's, I mean, that's a good thing that he didn't. Anyway, I'm just gonna clear my big guy here. And it's like I'm completely fine, you know, because I still have the Dragias. It's big enough to clear both. So as long as I draw 2 normal monsters, I know one of the cards on top of my deck is a Talismanic Accelerate, but as long as I draw 2 normies, I should still be in a good spot. Only drew one. Only drew one tribute fodder. They have to activate the talismanic array. Like yeah. Now down to 200 life points. This is like enough for Prankid's Lamsies to burn them to death, but I'm not playing speed duel. So they're just gonna get to do a bunch of stuff. They can't activate the effect of the Dream Drummer to gain 500 life points because I don't have monsters in my graveyard anymore thanks to Talismanic Seal Array. Really good card. Anyway, they are going to be able to destroy it completely, and then they're just gonna go for lethal, but unfortunately for them, they played right into Widespread Ruin, which it means that I basically don't have lethal, but they don't have lethal either. And then I'm just... Look! I drew the best card in my deck! So I'm just gonna summon Megazala and go for the Megazala lethal. They just concede in the face of my Megazala, which is exactly how I want it to be. I drew the Dragias back too, that's very funny. And last but not least, this duel is going to be against Harpies. Harpies is probably one of the most common, if not the most common deck you're going to encounter on Rush Ladder. It is very cheap, very accessible, but unfortunately for them, we drew Megazala, so I'm just going to get to Tribute Set the Megazala turn 1. The best card in my deck, in my opening hand. Makes me feel really good. They're going to set 3 pass, not even set any back row, you know. I drew a second Megazala, so I'm basically guaranteed to win, because Megazala, as established previously, is the strongest guy in my entire deck. I can see that they're on Winged Beast from this point forward, so that I know that I'm going to have to contend with Harpies. They're setting 3 again, except this time, they summon Harpy Lady Sister R. I'm just going to let it kill my Megazala, even though I have a Widespread Ruin, because I'm not too concerned. I do have the Hammer Crush in order to get rid of their back row. I am also able to Tribute Summon the Multi-Strike Dragon Dragias and summon Archfiend Soldier and set 1 and Dragias in order to donkers them, you know. I'm going to activate 7 of Donnie. It's not really useful because I'm going to attack directly with the Dragias anyway. Clear their board and deal 25. I could have also used the scale on the Archfiend Soldier, would have grown to 2500, which is enough to like contest a Dragias or a... what's the name of that? Any of the Royal Rebels level 8 monsters that Royal Rebels also a very popular deck on ladder, by the way. Anyway, I'm just gonna clear the board, do big damage. I'm gonna set 1. They're gonna summon an attack, which means that they are going on the offensive here. Harpy Lady Sisters hits the field, and then it's gonna shuffle stuff back into the deck. It's gonna grow big. And then I'm going to use the scale to grow even bigger. This time I'm going to use the Widespread Ruin because I do not want them killing my Dragias. It is too powerful. I just have the advantage here. I'm going to pitch a Megazala to pop a Dragon's Inferno. Not sure why they would be playing Dragon's Inferno in this list. And this is lethal even through the counter pigeons. Don't even bother activating a Dragias. I don't need to. And the victory. Wowee! What a cool day that was. Anyway, that's Megazala winning games 3 games in a row. Isn't that amazing? So yeah, pretty cool deck, pretty cool games. Dinosaurs are actually a viable, sort of accessible option in Rush Duels. And depending on whether or not the new upcoming support is really good, they might stay relevant for even a little bit longer. Maybe, I don't know, you should ask Tomatosaurus about this. He probably knows a lot more about Rush Duel than I do. Shout out once again to Tomatosaurus, to Sora, and to Pro Monarchist for being the dinosaur excavators of this format. And shout out to you for watching this video. Hope you liked it. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you have. Subscribe if you have not already. Subscribe to Tomatosaurus. I've pronounced this guy's name both ways throughout the entirety of this video, and I'm still not sure which it is. What was I gonna say? Yeah, thank you once again for watching this video. I'm currently on vacation. I should be back soon. I don't know when. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.